The Hedgeless Horseman here. It's November the 8th, 2022. This will be a relatively short video. It's just a follow-up video on the one I did earlier today, or I guess technically yesterday in Swedish time. I showed the fact that Magna Mining announced the acquisition of the Lonmin Canada Incorporation, and with that they closed the acquisition of the Denison project, which hosts the Green Hill mine. And as some of you might or might not know, I did a piece on Magna Mining a few weeks ago now, I think. And I put it as a top 3 holding. I think it was one of the most no-brainer risk-reward cases. So good that even though it's not primarily gold or silver, I just couldn't help myself. I mean, it had everything. It's like, especially the people. The people is a big factor. When you don't know a metal, etc., or a sector, I mean, people become so important, and thankfully a lot of the ex-FNX mining guys are in Magna Mining, so you know already. It's like the CEO owned, at least post this pre this recent raise, I think he owned, or insiders own like 35%. So you know it's serious. They see something big, and given that their FNX mining success was again like a $1.8 billion success at the end, typically people don't want to follow with anything less than their previous success, let's say. So it was just, in my opinion, one of the most absurd risk-reward cases I've seen, and that was again relying on the fact that, okay, assuming the case that they will indeed be able to close this acquisition, because that was the big catalyst that would make Magna Mining go from cheap to absurdly cheap, and the risk reward would just go into the stratosphere. Funny thing is that in my piece, I had a conservative base case scenario where the maiden resource, which we knew would come around the time of the acquisition, would show at least around 2 million tons of high-grade nickel. 2 million tons of high-grade nickel, in my opinion, was enough, and that would be the start. Obviously, it's like, there's exploration potential and all of that, but I think if they had 5 million, if they showed 5 million tons, it would rival Talon Metals resource at the time, which was around I think 5.5 attributed to Talon. So it's like that's how I saw it. It's like Talon had a market cap of 400 million. If you redact 200 million, assuming that's priced in for the exploration and all of that, because they have a huge land package. So it's like, okay, fair enough. Let's cut their market cap in half to what is attributed to their Tamarack project, which they are earning into 60% of, and at that point, just a few weeks ago, they had 5.5 million ton, I think, attributed to Talon. So even if the maiden resource came in at 2 million ton for Magna Mining, I think this company would be absurdly cheap. In light of Talon Mining's, or whatever they're called, their market cap, especially since, sure, Magna Mining might not have the blue sky exploration potential, district scale in that sense, at least from the Denison project, but Magna Mining has the Shakespeare project already, which is a very large land package. That's pretty much fully permitted. They have a permit for a mill. The Green Hill mine is also, has all the major permits because it was a major producing mine of Valley some decades ago. So it's like way more advanced. Their projects way more advanced, way more de-risked in the heart of the legendary Sudbury camp in Canada. Where you have all the infrastructure you need. You have 2 mills nearby. You have 2 smelters nearby belonging to Valley and I think it's Valley and Glencore. Again, it's like value per ounce, confirmed should be a lot higher for Magna Mining. So keep this in mind now. Okay, my base case, which made it a top 3 risk-reward position, such a good risk-reward that I put it as a top 3 holding of mine, was based on the conservative estimate that the maiden resource, the first resource out of the whole Green Hill project, because it used to be that the base metal, nickel and base metals, pretty much belonged to Valley, and Lonkan had go ahead, let's say, to look for PGM rich mineralization, platinum group metals, platinum, palladium, gold, etc. So it was basically cut in half. No company had the whole shebang. Magna Mining was to acquire the whole shebang and again put out a maiden resource based on over 90,000 meters drilled by Lonkan Canada, which probably would cost 20 million at least just re-drill, and all the historic drilling, etc. From Valley. I mean, just the sunk cost of that alone is, who knows, 40 million. I mean, almost as much as Magna's market cap at the time. So again, 2 million tons was my base case to have Magna Mining look absurdly undervalued. Today we got the resource. Magna Mining announces this came after the market close. Magna Mining announces initial mineral resource estimate on the Denison project containing a total indicated mineral resource of over 31 million tons. Apparently that's both open pit and high grade underground, and my assumption was I was just thinking about the high grade underground. So I mean this obviously blows my estimation away. I mean I don't think I've ever been so wrong in a right way. And if you just look here, high grade underground indicated resource of 14.5 million tons at 2.07% nickel equivalent. That is some really high grade stuff. If we recalculate it into gold equivalent, of course there will be, this is excluding recovery loss, so it's not it's not directly translated to gold, but just to show you, give a sense of what we're talking about here. Just to put it in gold terms, assuming 2.07 nickel equivalents equals 9 grams per ton AU equivalent, is means that the 14.5 million ton at 9 grams per ton AU equivalents is equivalent to 4.2 million ounces of 9 grams per ton AU equivalent in the ground. $4.2 million ounces of AU equivalent gold at 9 grams per ton AU equivalent, excluding recovery loss. I mean, Jesus Christ. This is, of course, which you can, I mean, this was a total, might be the total biggest shock in terms of, I mean, it's not like it's a discovery which could be a shock. It's like, I was waiting for this, but I was incredibly way off in my conservative resource estimate. And I mean, I outlined why I think I was very conservative. And the point of a really good case is that it should be really good if you are conservative. Because everything else then becomes, pretty much free upside. Because if this was a great case and 2 million tons looked like, they could probably get to at least that in the maiden resource estimate, and that would make it a great case. This is what can happen in those cases. Way, I mean, this is like orders of magnitude better than I thought the Green Hill mine would show in the maiden resource estimate. I mean, this is literally like, 6 times better than I thought. 6 times. Yeah, it's just, I don't know what to say. It's like I'm a bit speechless today. And I got a whole bunch of shares for, some friends and family, etc. as well. Yeah, I mean, and just to give a sense, this is apparently Talon Metals put out an updated resource in October. So, totally fresh. With a high grade component of 8.564 million tons at a nickel equivalent of 2.34, so a bit higher grade. And they are earning into 60% of this. So this comes out at 5.13 or 5.14 million tons at 2.34. They have a market cap of 426 million. No major permits. I don't know how the infrastructure looks. They for sure are not in Sudbury next to mills and smelters and all of that. So they're like years behind. And right now, Magna Mining has a high-grade resource that is more than double that of Talon Metals. And again, much more de-risked. Much more de-risked. And Magna Mining has a market cap of, I think, today after the close, I mean, it has not yet traded after this news, of 52 million Canadian. For both Shakespeare and the Green Hill mine, which again has now a resource, a high-grade resource that is over twice as large as what Talon Metals can earn into. This is just. This is absolutely. This is one of the craziest things I've been aboard. I think I don't know. This wasn't even in my realm of possibilities. I did not even have this as like some kind of blue sky. I thought maybe 7 million tons of just a high grade was pushing it, not 31 million tons in total. And 14.5 million tons of high grade. It's like I don't know. I don't even know how to really calculate this now. I mean, again, this is one of the slides I showed, how materially this acquisition would impact Magna Mining. Obviously, I don't have numbers here. It's just a visualization, and this was. I mean, you could more than double this bar here pretty much now. And this was my value range I had, fair value range, which the case is that we will see at least this value range sometime in the future. And now the Denison Pro, I mean, I blew that away, the initial resource. I mean, I think it's, I don't know. I mean, a 4-bagger looks, I mean, I wouldn't say a done deal because things can happen. Nickel price could theoretically crash, but this is so, especially the underground, is so high margin, or should be so high margin because it's so high grade. Yeah, I don't know actually. It's like I think this is a $2 stock easy. Yeah, I really do think. I mean, if nickel performs as well, it's like and you have, you know, again the Shakespeare and the Lonka. I mean, this is like, you know, I wouldn't put again a 500 million plus market cap out of the question. That would be a 10 bagger. So it's going to be very interesting to see what. I mean, the market right now is absolutely brain dead. As you know, I mean that's how you can find layups like this, because it is absolutely brain dead. And I mean, price hasn't changed much since I put out my piece, and now the case just got like 2 to 300% better, the risk reward. I already have a very large position, so I'm a bit torn. On the one hand, I'm thinking like, yeah, you know, sell what you can, just add until this reaches like $1 at least, and then maybe lay off a bit, because again, it's like the risk reward, in my opinion, is absurd at the closing price right now, and that will decrease as we get closer to, you know, some kind of fair value range here. But maybe, just maybe, up to maybe around up to $1, this is possibly the best case I know of and have ever seen, based on all current information, and from a risk reward perspective, that is so grossly undervalued right now without any risk to it. It's like, yes, the banked success, what is already known right now after this resource. It's not that I need to take any risk I mean, typically I'm into a lot of explorers which have exploration risk. You're making a bet that they will continue finding something. I mean, this is just fell into their lap right now. A very large indicated resource, and I think, yeah, probably around $2 or something. Yeah, I mean, it's you get paranoid almost, because there's like that's so much upside. It's like, yeah, 400%, let's say. Yeah, honestly, it's like, if we will have to see how this stock opens up tomorrow. And I don't know. It's like I'm tempted to, I don't know, double my position up to 50 cents. And the funny thing is, if that happens, my original position is already will have gone up quite a bit, 42%. And still, I think the case got way better than 42%. So yeah, I'm just thinking, you know, out loud here. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I don't want to say too much, because again, it's like I don't know the future, and depending on what I say, it might, you know, influence people perhaps too much. But right now, I am contemplating. Yeah, I would probably be happy if right. I mean, that's easy to say after you see the news, obviously, but it's like right now I wouldn't mind having half of my net worth in Magna Mining. Yeah, what a day. I mean, Goliath put out some great news as well. So I'll have to think about this. Again, this is not investing advice, but yeah, make up your own mind opinion. I'm biased, as you can tell. I mean, they are a sponsor. I have a very large position in it, and I am almost speechless right now after this news. So I'll have to consider my options. What I do tomorrow. What I should do. Again, it all depends on price. I would be, given how absolutely brain dead this market is, how big of a sleeper this store is. It might actually open up sub 50 cents, and if that happens, I think I might actually jack up my position considerably more. Food for thought. Hopefully, some might have bought Magna Mining after I put out the piece, and I think we will get pretty handedly rewarded in the not too distant future. That's it. Thanks for listening. Bye.